Hello everyone, it's Lindsay from the Vintage Button, and today we are going to look at and do a quick slow stitch really of this panel. Now this panel, I don't know if you recall the previous giveaway, and I will be announcing the giveaway soon. I did it in this slow stitch kind of rice bag. Have I still got it? I do, hold on. I thought I'd taken it downstairs. So this rice bag, and it was made by Miles's grandma, Mimi. So this is another piece of Mimi's art, kind of crafty archive that she kind of gave to me on the same trip. And it's just a panel that's got some sort of wadding on the back. That it's old, it's been kicking around my craft room for a long time. I remember I did this kind of within 12 months of bringing it back from South Africa, because she lived in Cape Town. So yeah, I thought what we'd do is we would have it as a pick up and go. So I've pinned it onto my little inspiration board that's in front of me so that I could pull it down and just have a go every so often. And that's what I like about slow stitch. You can do this. You can pick things up, put things down. So, like I said, it must be... How old's Lily? So she turned 5 in that trip. Like, literally turned 5 there. She's about to be 18. So 13 years ago? 12, 13 years ago. Long time. And all I'm going to do is do some mark making. And what I've decided to do is, because my stitching is not anywhere near accurate enough to do the faces or the little fingers and stuff, because if you have a look, like, they've got very delicate bits. That's the only bit that I don't want to slow stitch. Everything else I want to slow stitch. So I'll have to get my French knot game on. I will have to, I'm getting all caught up. I'm going to cut these strings because I'm not going to use this anymore. It's not very good quality. And it's all of the plies instead of taking them apart, because I wanted to fill it up. So what I've done is I've just taken some of my sewing cotton and put four plies through. I don't know what's happened there. It's going to be tricky because the wadding, I think, will make it tricky. But we're just going to do it for a little while. I just thought, you know what, I think it's going to be one of those that I pick up, I put down, I pick up, and I put down. So this isn't a wonderful, oh, we're going to start a new project. It's kind of like, I've just had Junk Journal July. I've just made that wonderful basket that is waiting. It's all boxed up, waiting for its recipient. And kind of between projects, and that's when a little sidekick project, it's like my crazy quilt, crazy patchwork quilt. It's the same thing. Pick it up, put it down. If I don't want to do any serious thinking, if I just want to do some stitching, then I can pick this up. I mean, it really is a bit ropey, but I quite like it for its a bit ropiness. It's got rust stains on it. I'll gently hand wash it. I was going to gently hand wash it, and I thought, no, I should actually... I'll stitch it first, and then I'll gently hand wash it. And lay it out somewhere really flat. So, I can hear teenager noise. Talking to friends. We went out, so it's Sunday evening, actually, early evening, and I've done some junk journal videos for my design team project. I wanted to do them and then they were done. because I want to spend some time on the slow stitch challenge for Slow Stitch September. And I thought I need to get things out of the way, and then I can put some thought into it. So I'm going to put some thought into it and email Carol like a scheme of work type situation in the next week, and then we will start to talk about it in more depth. But if this is your sort of, you're kind of curious about slow stitch but you've not had a go, Slow Stitch September will be for you, because it'll be something where you'll be able to make something, and at the end of it have something you can physically hold in your hands and it be a piece of your work. Yeah, it'll be a good thing. So I'm just going to go where there's a blue mark, put a blue mark in. Where there's some obvious dark, I will leave that, and then I'll find a different blue. I will even go in with a bit of creamy white at some point too, but I'm just literally making marks now. Putting the needle in one place, pulling it out the other. Trying to keep the tension so it's not puckering. It's going to pucker a little bit. I don't mind that really. I think, what am I going to use it for? It's kind of very sort of Regency. It could be Elizabeth Bennet and Charlotte Lucas trying to cheer Jane Bennet up in that summertime. Before she meets Mr. Darcy in Pemberley. Not that, well, no, you wouldn't have Charlotte Lucas. Could just be another sister. Could be Mary Bennet. It's the wrong time of year for when he first disappears, Mr. Bingley. That was in the kind of November, wasn't it? So yeah, we're just going to go over. There's no fancy stitches. It's just putting the needle in where you think it should be. It's almost like if you imagine that the stitches are like little brush strokes or pencil strokes, like you were colouring it in. In fact, people call this thread painting or stitch painting. It's strange because we kind of need terminology to describe things, but I often think that terminology, it becomes a gate, kind of, it's a gatekeeping thing, and I don't like that. So I'm just making marks. Okay. Doing a back stitch here because it's the easiest way to get like a row, like a continuous row in a kind of accurate way. Try it off center so that your needle's coming up in between of the preceding row, almost like you're laying bricks. You don't have to do that though. Just what I want to do. I want to make it look like it's been weaved, you see. I like it. Let's keep going. We've got roast pork that we're going to have for supper, because we went out and I thought we were not going to be as long as we were, but we ended up being 4 hours instead of 2. but that's alright. Another teenager would have been nibbling on things all day. We had something to eat while we were out, so none of us are hungry. Having a supper instead of a dinner once in a while not does any harm. So I've just put the pork in the oven. I'm such a lazy cook. Like, I'm not domesticated at all. Like, I can cook, and I kind of had to learn to cook at an early age. Basically, my dad got ill and my mum needed to be with my dad, and so I ended up having some parental responsibilities. My older brother did too, which wouldn't have been given to us at all, really, if it had not been for that. So yeah, I remember the first time my mum had to take my dad, being with my dad while he had his chemotherapy, and I had to cook dinner for the children. It was like a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old, and I didn't know how to cook. So I really didn't know how to cook. So I got some waffles, like the frozen potato mash. We call them potato waffles. I don't think you have them anywhere else. I think they're probably a British. They're a frozen convenience food, potato kind of convenience food. So I did them, and I just did a pile of them actually, and I put them in the on the table on one plate and just put some ketchup down. And they both looked at one another, and they looked at the food, and obviously they didn't really know. Like they knew something. They were disquiet. I think they were disquiet. I don't know. They were worried, and they sort of looked at each other, looked at me, and then both simultaneously just started to cry. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to learn how to cook. So that's when I learned how to cook. So I could cook a meal. I do quite a nice roast dinner, which is a British thing. Roast dinner's like, if you're in America, because I'm sure in Australia you just have a roast anyway. I'm sure Australia you just have a roast. But a roast dinner is like a Thanksgiving dinner, but it's something that we have on Sundays. So find a sort of meat. So it can be a chicken, or today I've got some lovely pork. And we just sort of cook it up and have sort of vegetables to it. So today it's not very traditionally English roast dinner. I've got some new potatoes. I threw them all underneath the pork. I've got some courgettes that I just sort of or zucchini cut in half and just put them underneath, so to kind of make like a trivet for the joint of meat, so all the juices go in. We didn't have, because we need to do some shopping, you see, so I call this fridge gravel. A couple of tomatoes, and I will steam some broccoli, and we'll probably live off that for a couple of days, because like I said, I'm that kind of cook. I just don't like cooking. I'm alright. I'm much better. I think I've said this before. I'm much better at a savoury dish than I am at a baking, because I've no precision. I think that's why I like slow stitch and junk journaling as well. It's because I just don't have any precision. I like to make it up as I go along. And that's why a little project like this, just a few minutes, it's just perfect. I think we'll be 20 minutes, if that. We might not even be that. It might be my quickest ever slow stitch video, which I find a bit of an oxymoron. Things shouldn't be quick with slow stitch. The whole notion, actually, of slow stitch and junk journaling is that they are slow crafts, that it isn't about a quick fix. So even though, I might not spend very long on this particular thing here today. That doesn't matter because the whole process takes a long time. I've just explained to you. I've had this piece of cloth for like 12, 13 years. It was given to me by somebody who probably had it for decades. And eventually it'll get finished and it'll get put into something. I don't know what I'm going to put in. I could probably make a little cushion. That's probably what will happen. It'll go on a cushion. But yeah, look at it. It's quite nice. Quite delicate. Little stitching. Should we make her shoes match? And I love that there's all kinds of blues in here, but I'll just keep picking different blues. Just going to use that wadding to travel down. Might not have enough to do the shoes. I'm sure we will. Because it's just a little suggestion of shoes. Doesn't have to be perfect. I can always thread a bit more of my vintage thread. So this thread, I actually think it probably does have a lot of integrity, like a lot of strength in it, because it's cotton. And, you know, if they're in these wooden spools, I think it's probably 1950s, 40s even. So, you know, they've got quite a bit of age to them. These little wooden spools. So it was that one. So it's a Silco cornflower. It's a beautiful colour. Why are the old colours so much nicer? Because today we went to the Range, which is like a big homeware and craftware store, and I have actually got some stuff. I've got some wallpaper samples, genuinely to look at my bedroom. But then I was thinking, oh, I could craft with them, and I've had a look, see what I want. I took a few. I think I've got about 5 samples, and I don't know that they're all very different because it's a blank canvas, our bedroom. We've got lots of found furniture and a bed from the 2000s, which is like the bed we bought like when we kind of moved in together, that we don't want to get rid of for sentimental reasons. And I think, I don't know, we might get, when we're due for a new, because that bedroom can take a king size bed, when we are due to redo the, is it cornflower or is it that one? I can't remember. Which one did we use? No, it's the cornflower. When we change mattress, we might consider it then. You never know. But what I think I might do in the meantime is paint it black, because I think that'll just take the early 2000s away from it. And then once I've painted it black, it'll hopefully read a bit more old and matching with all the other bits of furniture, you see, because I've got a mid-century cabinet that my husband found on the side of the road. I've told you before, he's very good at finding really cool, quirky bits and pieces, either very cheap in a charity shop or on the side of the road for free. And in Cambridge, there's quite a lot of really nice stuff just on the side of the road free, because it's that kind of a place, really. So I've got a secretary, a bureau, we call them here, in the craft room. I got that for free from the side of the road. So we've got that, and then there's other bits and pieces that we've just acquired for free, actually. What have we paid for in there? I think my bedside cabinet, which is an old sewing box, I think might be the only piece of furniture. Oh no, there's a chair as well that I got from an antique shop in Wigan, of all places. So it's a mixture of like these found bits and these kind of, you know, odd little bits from antique shops and charity shops. And I've got some mirrors I want to go on the wall. And there's some art as well. But it's just cream walls, and then this very early 2000s wallpaper that I want to get rid of. I like her little shoes. They match her hat. I think that might be. Do we need to do some more on the top of her hat? We can do. I've got enough thread now. And then that might be it. So it's just just a little bit adding to it. Like, when I want to practice French knots, I'm going to do all the dots and the little berries. And even the flowers. So like, I could use it to practice stitches. And then I could just make marks. It doesn't, you know, it kind of... It's a lovely little project just to have on the go. And now I've got this craft room and I've got it sorted out so that things are... I am definitely... I'm like a visual person. I need to see my supplies, which does make it like it gets messy very easily. It gets messy again. And then I have to do these resets. And I'm thinking, is that because my storage isn't working? I'm like, no, it's because of me. That's what I do. I make a mess when I get all my supplies out. I want to see everything. That's what inspires me. So I just have to be back on it, tidying up after. But you know, these are the ponderings you have. So yeah, we went to the range and I got the wallpaper samples to do the bedroom. Because like I said, it is very neutral. So like anything goes. So I've got some quite varied ones, but I actually think Miles was like a bit dubious of some of them. There's a very delicate one that's got bees and butterflies and botanical, and it looks old. So I like the idea of that. I like the idea of just a simple William Morris pattern, to be honest. And because it's only one wall, I think I could, because William Morris wallpaper's dead expensive. I think that's it. Oh, that's so lush. I could put some words around. I'd have to decide in my head who are they and what they're doing. Could be Eleanor and Mrs. Dashwood, or Eleanor and Mrs. Dashwood, and that's Marianne after Willoughby's abandoned her. There you go. Or could it be my favourite? My favourite is Pride and Prejudice, and then Persuasion after that, and then Sense and Sensibility, and then Emma, and then Mansfield Park, and then I don't really like Northanger Abbey at all. So there, we could. So now I need just a dark, and it could be that, couldn't it? It doesn't have to be the colour that's under it, could be any colour. I'm covering it up. I'll have a think, but I'm not going to do that today. I just said to myself, I'm literally just going to do her hat and her shoes, and then I'm going to pin her back up. And then she could be brought down, or they can be brought down when I need a little pick-me-up, a slow stitch, a few minutes. And some of that will be with you guys, and some of that will be sat on the sofa watching the telly. We all need little things. Everything doesn't have to be a big project. We're doing this for our well-being. Soothes and calms nervous systems. Just to have fun. Doesn't even have to be that serious of soothing your nervous system. And it can still be very slow, but also done in a flash. Or done in little short spurts. Little quick sessions. Alright then, I'm going to go. If you found value, I would love it if you'd subscribe, hit the little bell, like and comment, do those little YouTubey things that help my channel to grow, which I'm really amazed for everybody who subscribed. Thank you. I can't thank you all enough. That's why I do the giveaways, which will be announced soon. I just have to go through the comments and put them all in a hat and pull them out. But I'm going to do it on a community post. So this video doesn't class as an entry into the giveaway. That's closed because it was for July. But the announcement will be done on a community post. I'm just going to put the names up and then put my email address for you to get in contact with me. Well, my channel email address, of course. So there we go. I hope you've enjoyed the little sit and stitch with me, because that's all it is. That's all it has to be. That's all it needs to be. Hope you join me tomorrow. Tomorrow's Monday. There will be a mindful make. It is a junk journal one. It's a very simple one though, and the meditation at the end is always a nice thing to do. All right then, everyone. I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.